Well, we've seen one undefeated start to the season end, with Ethan Jeff Hall finishing third in Minimax. Will we see the other undefeated start to the season in Rotax end in the next 12 minutes? Dan Tate has won both finals so far, but only starts fourth here. Henry Ayres, our defending champion, number one plate in his last year of karting, aiming to go out on the top of his game, will start from pole position. Jack McConnell joining the championship for this round, a driver of great pedigree, won the opening heat race. He will start second. Matthew Easton, last year's third place championship driver, starts third alongside Daniel Tate. Tate coming into today with a 17-point lead in the championship over Lewis Large, and Large starts fifth directly behind Tate. Callum Porter and Sam Winter off the back of the grid, and we may have successfully deduced that Sam Winter has stolen the Swedish driving school sticker that now adorns his toolbox, maybe with some help from his friends from Denmark, but that's all good. There he is, getting into the number 77 at Red Speed Kart. The drivers all have time to focus on their own. There's Lewis Large getting into the Coles racing kart. So Coles, that's their first win of the season in Minimax. Can Lewis Large make it 2 wins out of 2 today in the 177 class? Now looking back at the 177 all-time list, well, Henry Ayres is tied atop the all-time Rotax 177 Motorsport UK British Kart Championship win list with 3 wins, Ethan Haynes and Henry Ayres. So a win today would put him into first place outright. Ethan Haynes has 2. Daniel Tate has 2, along with Michael Cheek and Nathan Chafer. And we've got a bunch of drivers with 1 victory. Lewis Large has got 3 third-place finishes, but not a second and not a first. Let's have a look. Full starting lineup. Ayres on pole position, with McConnell on the outside of row number 1, Matthew Easton and Dan Tate on row 2. Lewis Large and Callum Porter go from row number 3, and Sam Winter on row number 4. 7 drivers, 12 minutes. Now, Daniel Tate, has there been any sandbagging, so to speak, going on in terms of Tate saving his tyres? Will we see the number 29 Strawberry Racing Kart putting on a much greater turn of speed than we've seen so far today? There is the field, 5, 6, 7. All 7 drivers are there. They'll go around in what is now, well, sort of nearly 5 o'clock local time here at Whilton Mill. So the sun beginning to get a little bit lower in the sky, which is, it's great from some angles because the glint, the sun is gleaming off the graphics kits on the karts. It can mean identification is a little bit tricky. The good news is the paddock show, which goes out straight after the last final, could be held in somewhat warmer weather. Here we go. Into the tram lines, and lights are out. We're off and racing. Henry Ayres takes the lead into turn number 1 through Crook and Oblivion, with Matthew Easton up to second, McConnell third, Tate fourth, Large fifth. Then it's Porter and Winter, and Lewis Large trying to go on the outside of Daniel Tate. So they're the drivers that are first and second in the championship, and Lewis Large moves to P4, Tate down to fifth.
Good start then from Rotax 177. Have you answered the question here from Mr. Doe? Because I won't say the first bit with the last bit. What is Rotax 177?
Oh, sorry. Because a lot of people talking nonsense on there about various classes that don't exist. So I missed that one. What is Rotax 177? 177 is the weight limit. So senior Rotax, the minimum class weight for kart and drive is 162 kilos. For drivers of a certain stature, that's not possible. So the weight limit for Rotax 177 is 177 kilos. Same engine, same chassis, same tyres as senior Rotax, just with a slightly heavier weight limit.
There we go.
There you go, Mr. Doe.
There we go. Cool. 11 minutes to go then.
I think his first name is Dylan.
Probably.
Yes. carry on. Let's look at the race. Ayres and McConnell. Well, it's Ayres on his own, then McConnell. Now, is McConnell sort of, well, he's not obviously like holding up the field behind, but Henry Ayres, of course, he missed the second round, so he's dropped all the points from Mansell, so he needs to score maximum points every single time and sort of push Dan Tate back as far as he can go. And McConnell is sort of, well, he's not got the pace of Ayres at the moment. Up the hill we go. Easton third, Large fourth, Tate fifth, Porter in sixth, doing a great job of holding on, and Winter in seventh, also still there. So no one's been dropped just yet.
No, I have to say, this is the closest we've seen the 177 grid so far today. I mean, race 1 was fairly close. Race 2 was a little bit more spread out. There is a move, yeah. The number 3 of Matthew Easton gets past Jack McConnell. Jack moving down the order. Under pressure now as well from Dan Tate.
Yeah, well, Tate passed Lewis Large there,
yeah,
which is significant for the championship. So Tate, at the moment, well, he was only 17 points clear, but now he is 21 points clear after that move on Lewis Large. Lewis Large is coming back up the inside at him. We'll see how that makes a difference in the point standings. You know, this is important. Every single position is important, especially in this class where there's the numbers are low. Henry Ayres sets a fast lap of the race, 45.15. What's TKM? That's another question. TKM, Total Karting Madness. There we go.
Total Karting Madness. Yeah, is that what it actually stands for?
I've got a clue, but if I say it with enough authority, people will believe it.
Yeah, well,
Henry Ayres has the race lead. Undisputable fact. You can see it on your screen. Same as TKM, Total Karting Madness. We'll ask Alan Turney. Turney Kart Maintenance? Alan Turney, TKM? Turney Kart Maintenance? Possibly.
But we're not in that. We're Rotax.
I know, but we're going to see TKM later on, and I'm answering the people. The people have spoken on the chat, and I'm answering the people.
There we go.
There we go, thank you. Here we go. Right. Who's leading the race? It's still Henry Ayres. Matthew Easton in second, Jack McConnell third, Daniel Tate up into fourth place. The moment, the points. So, I mean, should we summon the disembodied voice in our heads to see the championship tables, please, on your screens?
Denied.
Mr.
Disembodied voice in my head. Could we please get championship standings on your screen now? Thank you.
The disembodied voice in my head is still pouting because I was only 6 hours late yesterday.
Yeah, there we go. But Dan Tate, crucially, still leading. 497 points as it stands at the moment. Henry Ayres, though, look, he's creeping back in the picture.
But that 304 points, you know, that's before drop scores.
Yeah.
So Daniel Tate will have to drop 3 scores. I mean, we're far too early in the season to be talking about drop scores. But, you know, Daniel Tate will have to drop about 150 odd points, which would put him right back into contention. Will put Henry Ayres right up into contention because he doesn't have to drop any points because he's already missed a meeting.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Excellent. There we go.
7.5 minutes to go.
Yes. There we go.
Disembodied voice in my head. Please remove the championship scores.
No, you see. Disembodied voice in my head. Please remove the championship scores. Thank you very much.
I'm going to go and find a new friend. It's invisible.
There you go.
And start talking to a different disembodied voice in my head.
7 minutes to go then. Henry Ayres leads the way currently at the moment. It's once again Chaos Sport 1-2-3 here in Rotax 177 for their final. And at the moment, you know, not separated by too much. You know, Dan Tate, Strawberry Racing. Now, it says Strawberry Racing there.
Yes.
But what livery has he got in there?
Strawberry Racing.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
He's got a different race suit because he runs a pro kart team, and that's his Tate Motorsport.
I was really thinking it was a Tim Wilson Motorsport thing, but it's definitely not, is it?
Because that Magnum's gone to your head.
It has.
You've got delayed brain freeze.
I do, yeah. Delayed brain freeze.
But I tell you what is not delayed is the fact that Matthew Easton and Jack McConnell are not delayed because they're closing in on Henry Ayres. Henry Ayres' lead was over a second. It's now down to 0.6 of a second. Easton on this last lap, a 45.37 for Ayres, 45.14 for Easton, 45.08 for McConnell, 45.10 for Tate. So they're all closing in on Henry Ayres. So we talk about tyre pressures and karts coming on and going off during the course of a race. Ayres shot off like a rat of a drain pipe, pulled up a big lead. So he set his pressure to come on straight away, to pull a gap and then defend. other, like McConnell, you saw him, he was slow and he was, holding everyone up behind. His pressures were designed to come on at the end of the race. So he was slow at the start while the kart was fighting for grip, and now he's getting stronger and stronger, quicker and quicker. So he's going to be quicker at the end, but he's not going to have track position.
No.
Ayres isn't going to be as fast at the end of this race, but he will have track position.
Yes.
And of course, they're all running for KR Sport, 1, 2, 3, so they're thinking, well, I'm not going to get taken out by some mad, crazy lunge.
No.
So that does come into the factor. So Tate on his own in 4th place. Now, I'm thinking that now, when we get to Warden Law, I think Strawberry need to go and find some other stout gentlemen to help give Dan a bit of help and boost the grid a little bit. Yes, like Ian Branfield did at Mansell, finishing 2nd as a privateer, as a guest driver.
Yep.
So here we go, up the hill we head now towards Christmas Corner. McConnell really pushing Easton along. That gap is coming down. 45.18 for Ayres last time around, 45.10 for Easton, 45.12 for McConnell. Very, very close now at the front. But still, Easton and McConnell are a couple of hundredths quicker. If they can continue this momentum, we're on lap 10. We've got 4.5 minutes to go.
Yep. Let's see what they can do. Because like you say, because Sector 1, again, fraction, 2 thousandths of a second faster than Sector 1. Sector 2, again, 4 thousandths of a second faster. Actually slower through Sector 3, but again, that gap has closed down. Now less than 0.6 of a second, just over half a second now between those top two. They've closed right on in each other. They essentially now they need to work together, because if McConnell goes for a lunge on Easton now,
he's going to be pretty unpopular.
Yeah, he's going to be unpopular, and Ayres will have gone.
Yes, and Tate will be right in a position to gain ground in the both in the race and in overall points.
Yes,
because at the moment Lewis Large is not threatening Daniel Tate at all. He's faded back into 5th position. Callum Porter is only 3/4 of a second behind Lewis Large in the battle. There's Lewis Large in 5th, and then Porter in 6th, and then a 2-second gap back to Sam Winter in 7th. There is Sam there going through, but all these 3 KR Sport drivers have still got designs on victory. Dan Tate is closing back in. He's not being left behind at all.
No, he's not. He's right there. He stayed innocent.
And we talk about lap times. Well, Tate was quicker than McConnell last time around by 200ths.
Identical first sector between Ayres and Easton.
Yep. McConnell a dash quicker. 3 minutes to go. A smooch. A squoosh.
Yeah, there we go. Under 3 minutes to go plus that one lap.
There's Lewis Large. Now there's a good view of just an idea of
rubber that they put down.
Absolute rubber. And of course, they're downhill again. You could good view of the camber there at that corner up the hill. Now McConnell makes the move. Easton doesn't fight it. Tucks straight back in. Smart from Easton. McConnell chose at the moment right. Only lost about 1/10 of a second making the move. That's fine. And Easton now right on his bumper is in a position to push him along.
Yep.
They'll gain that 1/10 of a second back. And McConnell, again, his kart getting stronger and stronger as the race progresses.
Let's see what they can do then as they go through. Let's keep an eye on that gap, because that's the main thing. Of course, this top 3, they are 1st, 2nd, 3rd at the moment in this final, but of course it's a final, so people want to get on that top spot of the podium, don't they? So let's see what their gap can do. Like you said, like Henry just said, lost 1/10 with that overtake. The gap now just under 0.8 of a second overall as they go through, but you can see there sector 1, it'll update. Again, faster is McConnell than Ayres, and you can already see that gap is starting to close down at the front. So we'll keep an eye on that one as they go through. But at the moment, still, all 7 karts out on circuit still. Ayres still leading the way from McConnell, Easton, Tate, Large, Porter, and Winter. I have to say, Sam Winter, when I was going to interview Minimax, he had a big cheesy grin on his face as he was pushing his car onto the grid.
Why not? He's a happy guy.
He's a happy guy.
He's a happy guy. He's racing as a privateer. He's got his mates around him. He's having a laugh off track.
Yep.
He's having a good hack on track. Grid of 7 or not, he's just a happy guy. Yeah. He's starting to fade a little bit in the second half of the races, which tells me maybe a little bit kart setup, maybe a little bit driver setup.
Yeah.
Because it's a physical track. This, I know we're not over-egging the pudding here, but it is, and it does tell at the end of these races. What was significant was when he spoke to Ethan Jeff Hall at the end of the Minimax final. He said, I made a mistake. He knew that he'd left half a kart length, and that was all Harris and Carl. There was no national team. Oh, he got pushed wide. He knew that he shouldn't have left that gap, and it's a big thing for a driver to admit, you know. But still, he still leads the championship, and Henry Ayres now extending his lead back out again to 0.8 of a second over McConnell. So, right, 30 seconds to go. Next time around, they're going to be right on the cusp of hitting the last lap next time around. We'll have to see. But I mean, McConnell, he's pulled away from Easton. You know, he's inching up towards Ayres. However, does a one-up. He's making his seasonal debut. I don't know if it's a guest drive or if he's going to do the rest of the season. If he does the rest of the season, fine. But he's still not in a position to battle for the championship. Do I risk taking out somebody, a teammate, who is in a position to battle for the championship? We shall see.
Well, again, the political answer would be to say no.
Well, but we asked Caden McQueen yesterday, and he went, "Don't care."
Well, yeah, that's true. He did say that, didn't
he? He said,
but no, that's Caden McQueen.
No, he said it wouldn't change his psyche whatsoever. We're on the last lap, and I think Henry Ayres has just about done enough. McConnell claws back a tenth or two on that penultimate lap. We're on lap 17 now. Ayres up the Kenny Straight towards Wilkins. Through Wilkins, runs a little bit wide, gets back on track before they get to the grass. Now through Ayres, over the curbs a little bit, coming onto the back straight now into the boot. Henry Ayres, well, if he's gonna stop karting at the end of this year, he's gonna do everything possible to go out on top. Henry Ayres takes his fourth 177 career victory in the Motorsport UK British Kart Championship provisionally. That puts him atop the all-time winner list in 177. Last year's champion trying to retain his title, winning by 0.8 of a second over his KR Sport teammate Jack McConnell. Matthew Easton in third place, Jordan Chamberlain and the rest of the KR Sport team. Their cup of karting joy overfloweth. Daniel Tate, championship leader, comes home in fourth place, outscoring his nearest title rival Lewis Large, but losing ground to Henry Ayres and Matthew Easton, with Callum Porter and Sam Winter rounding out the field after 17 hard-fought laps in Rotax 177. Anthony Jordan will go and grab a word with our top three very shortly. And there we go. So, no nose cone penalties there at the start. There goes Louis Large, thumbs up. Here comes Callum Porter. Thumbs up. Sam Winter going, yeah, I don't care about a nose cone penalty, just someone find me the defibrillator. So, there goes the 177 drivers into the scrutineering bay, where Paul Klassen and his team will do the various necessary technical checks with karts, engines, and various other mechanical elements. The next race that we will see will be race 19, so we've got 4 races to go today, ladies and gentlemen. The junior Rotax and senior Rotax finals for today are up next, and then it'll be Heat 2 for junior TKM, and we round out the day with TKM Extreme Heat 2. Anthony Jordan is scurrying back to the scrutineering bay area. So again, why do we do the driver interviews in scrutineering? Well, the drivers and the top 3 drivers and their karts are not allowed to leave the scrutineering area until all the scrutineering checks are complete. So the scrutineering team first of all will do the weighing checks. They'll weigh the drivers, they'll weigh the karts, they will do all that. Then once the kart weight has been completed, then the drivers can go, so they can't leave yet. That's why Anthony is running all the way down to the paddock to interview them in the drivers area now.
Thank you, Henry. Yes, now is the correct time, and you join us, Henry Ayres. Well, firstly, welcome back, because we missed you in the last round. It is good to see you back in the paddock here at the British Kart Champs.
Yeah, it was a bit annoying at Mansell because I damaged my ribs, and it was really frustrating because obviously I want to retain my title, and that definitely took a dent on it. But I'm here just for damage limitation, so hopefully the rest of the season will go like this. So.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, you say it's put a dent in it. Not necessarily, because you've got to remember, drop scores. It does mean that you can't miss out on any more of the championship. So, yeah, that could be a mean that it puts a dent in it for you. But, like I say, great to see you out here. And, again, a stellar performance today. You know, putting it at the front, absolutely great result for you. And you must be pleased that it's a KR Sport 1-2-3 as well.
Yeah, I mean, the team's done a really good job this weekend. I mean, like, it helps that I've got 2 other teammates so we can learn from each other. And we have been doing that, and it's clear. Yes, we're 1-2-3 and we're miles quicker, so I'm happy.
Excellent. Anyone you'd like to thank?
KR Sport Engines, and my mechanic Ash, and my dad.
Excellent stuff. Well, Henry Ayres, well done. Race win for the 177.
Thank you.
Excellent stuff there. Let's have a chat then with our second place driver, Mr. Connell. So, well, again, we've not seen you in this paddock before yet, have we, this year? Are we expecting to see you again?
Yeah, so I've had 2 years out, so I used to race in 2018, 2019 in the British show. Bit of time out, so I think physically it was probably going to be the biggest challenge. I knew the pace would be there. I was just trying to keep the consistency, so it was a good race. Like, there was nothing between me and Henry and Maddie, and that was really good. And it was good fun. It's good to be back. Maybe I'm getting a bit too old for it.
Well, no, that's what 177's for. Yeah. It doesn't matter how old you are or anything like that. That's what 177's for. Now, in that race, talk us through your kind of strategy, because obviously you got past the man who finished in third place just at the moment. Of course, what made you go for that specific time?
Yeah, so didn't have a best start, kind of bogged off the line, ended up in third place. And I was behind Maddie. Wasn't much between us, and I could see he was catching Henry, and I thought, actually, this is a good place to sit. Maybe we'll both kind of catch up to Henry and make it a 3-horse race. Sort of at one point, I sort of gained a bit of pace, so then I went for the second place. And I just think there wasn't much in the lap times. I just couldn't close the gap, so I was pleased with second,
Excellent.
Yeah.
No, you got to accept it. Really, it was a very generous engine firing up there, just midway through there. But yeah, again, anyone you'd like to thank after this weekend?
Yeah, just my dad. I think we've done it 14 years now, so yeah, big thank you for him for putting up with that. And obviously KR done a really good job, and all the time it's been great. All my teammates have been. It's really nice coming back and having such a good paddock to be in. So yeah.
Excellent. Well done. Second place. 14 years. I don't think I could stand being with Henry for 14 years. Right, well, now, Mr. Easton, third place for you on this one. Again, a great result. You could be happy with that one. But Whilton Mill, technical circuit. How was that final for you, though?
I thought I drove a good final. Henry did a great job out front, consistent every lap. Just couldn't quite close the gap. Felt halfway through the race, I started to catch a little bit, and then I dropped off a touch towards the end, and that's when Jack came past. But pace felt good. Just didn't quite have enough to catch Henry.
Again, it's a tough old circuit, and of course, this championship, even in the 177 class, everyone's a quick driver. It is a tough old grid of drivers, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Even though it's a small grid, it's always good racing. We've got 7 drivers, but everyone, I feel like it's all good quality. But yeah, it's great people to race against as well.
Oh, excellent. Anyone you'd like to thank as well?
KR Sport done a fantastic job all weekend. HRS Engines putting a great engine package together for and just everybody else who supports us. I've got Northeast Business Systems. It was one of the sponsors, and then my dad, my mum at home, and just everyone that supports us.
Well, excellent stuff. You look good on the stream today. Lots of camera action out there for you, so be a good one for you. But well done on a third place, Mr. Easton. Well done. Well, excellent stuff then from the Rotax 177. Plenty more finals coming up, as I believe it is juniors, I think.
You are correct, Mr. Jordan, although when we start the 2035 British Championships in our 14th year together, I shall remind you of what you just said about spending 14 years in my company. Dearie me. Anyway, here we go. Next final, race 19. It's Junior Rotax.